Hi everyone, it's Miss Robin with Seneca County CCE and the 4-H After School Program. Today we're going to make a little magic. The technical name for that is Chromatography. Okay? And what we're going to do today is make a fun springtime activity. We're going to use a little bit of felt and construction paper and a little bit of origami and then a little bit of the magic down here in the bottom. Okay, so what you need are quite a few supplies for today. And so there should be a plastic cup, a bag of salt, pipe cleaners. Okay, then you'll need things to work with, such as tape, scissors, ruler. Okay. There should be 1 to 2 markers included in your kits, and of course you can use any other markers that you might have. In your kits you'll have a piece of soft cloth. We call this felt. This particular felt is man-made, synthetic. It's not from wool or alpacas. So it's just a piece of soft cloth that we can turn into a flower. And if you'd like to practice with the construction paper beforehand, there's some of that as well. Or they can turn right into the regular flowers. So what we're going to do today is make a fun flower. This one is from the felt. Then I have some that are from the paper. And that's what we're going to work on today. Okay. So what you need, and I'm going to start with the construction paper and then move my fun springtime things over so you can see better. Okay. So we do that. Okay. So what you need is a piece of construction paper, a ruler if you choose. And what you can do is make a square. Okay. So you're going to eyeball it if you want to, or you can mark it out. A 4x4 square, so kind of here. So 4. And then 4. And you're just going to go ahead and cut. Not sure I measured quite right. So then I tend to eyeball things, but that should be a square similar to one that has already been cut out. So again, if you want to go ahead and completely measure it, you can do so, or you can just eyeball it, or I'm using a piece that I've cut before and just cutting around that a little bit more. Okay. So however it works for you to get a square. Okay. So then you have a square, and you are going to fold it over. Okay. Then you have a fold. If you want to start now, you can and cut slits here, but that will make your flower a little bigger, and it might be a little harder to work with. But if you want to try that, that's okay. If you want to make a little smaller, as I'm going to do, you take the square that you created, fold it in half, and then cut along that fold. So basically cutting that square in half. Okay? And then you'll have the 2 pieces. Then one more fold. Okay? Again, if you chose to use the bigger piece, that is okay. I just found it easier to handle with the smaller piece. So then you fold it again. Then on the fold, you're going to cut small little slits. So not all the way through, just a little bit down. Okay? So you make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. I said your paper should allow about 10 to 12 small slits, and then there'll be little loops almost. You're going to leave it folded. However, if you want to see what it looks like, it's going to look like this, okay? But you're going to keep it full, and then so if you open it up to look at it, that's fine. Then fold it back over, and you have these small slits. You're going to roll the paper to the other end. You can roll it away from your body, or you can roll it towards you. I don't think it matters. The ones I've done, I've seemed to roll away from myself. But I think again, some of these activities are what works best for you. Okay? So I'm rolling it, and I'm rolling it, and I'm just going to roll it to the end. Okay? Okay. And then when you get it to the end, you're going to take whatever you want to secure it in place. It could be rubber band, could be glue. I'm going to use some tape today. So I'm going to take my tape, and then I'm just going to go around the bottom. Then you have your flower, and you're just going to pull it out a little bit. They call it kind of fanning it out. So you're just going to pull it out, just some of the pieces, just a little bit, in order to make it appear more of a flower. Okay? And again, it can be as much as you want it to come out, as little. Be as creative as you like. Okay? And then you're going to take a pipe cleaner and attach that on as a stem. And again, you can do this however you choose to get the stem attached to the paper flower. Whether you decide to use some tape or glue, or even just wrap the pipe cleaner around it. But I'm going to use some tape again. So I'm going to just take a piece of tape and tape on my pipe cleaner to my flower. Okay. And there is my fun flower. Okay. And then what we are going to do to create the magic to make the fun springtime activity, or you can give it as a gift. It can be a paperweight, it can be a decoration, your choice. But to create the magic, we are going to take a cup. You should have a cup provided. Some salt, that also should be in your kits. I think there's about a cup in your bags. I'm just going to pour some in. So I'm going to do so when you're using your bags, pour a little in, probably not all of it, because you might want to add a little bit more to the top of your decoration. Okay, so I'm just going to pour my salt in. And my cups are bigger than yours, so I'll stop there. Then I need to get my water. I happen to have a water bottle. You have a small cup and or an eyedropper. You just need to get a little bit of water onto the salt to create the magic. And you can start with the water or you can start with the marker. It's your choice. Or you could try it both ways and see which one you like better. I'm going to start putting a little bit of the color from my marker into my salt. Then I'm going to add a little bit of water and see if any more magic or chromatography is happening. I can see a little bit happening with the marker. I'm not sure you can with the camera, but hopefully. And then when you do it yourself, you will see it. So I decided to do mine dry first. I put the salt in the cup, put the marker in the salt, and made a little magic. Now I'm going to add a little water to it. The spray on this doesn't work as well, so I'm just going to drizzle just a little bit in. If you have an eyedropper, do a drop or two. If you have a little cup, just pour, just a little bit in. And then go ahead and take your marker and stir it around and see what you create, what color happens. And then if you want to switch it up and try a different marker and see what happens, sure, go ahead and do that. I'm going to try, I think I have an orange. Go ahead and try that. I don't think it did too much. Maybe I'll add just a little more salt on it. And just see if the orange will show up. So you can make some layers and see if some density happens along with the chromatography. Just be creative, okay? My other color isn't showing up as well as I had hoped. So that's part of learning. Sometimes you have an idea and it goes a little different than you think it might. Okay. But you can see, well, I'm able to. It's hard to see in the camera, but a little bit darker here on the bottom and lighter. And then it's going to dry and become a little bit heavier. And the drying looks kind of neat to watch. The drying is a fun observation to see what happens with it. Okay. So you have your flower that you created. Okay. You have the magic. Then you're going to just, however you want to put in your make pretend stem of the flower into the cup. And just kind of push it down. And again, if you have a little more salt left, you can add it on and maybe add a color. Or just kind of move it over and just kind of make it sink in. And you have a fun little springtime activity. So this is another one I created earlier. So this is, it's just the paper going down into the flower, and then the magic from the salt and the water and the color. And then you get to watch it dry and see what appears. So fun springtime activity, chromatography, origami, density, observation, lots of creativity and science all in one. And I do have another type of flower that I can show everyone quickly. So to make a rose, you have it's easier just to start with, again, your square about this size. Then you're going to turn it into a circle, actually. So again, Miss Robin doesn't tend to measure a lot. These activities, it's not as important. Some activities, it truly is important when you're building to to measure everything out accurately. But so make a circle and then keep going around and around and around to turn it into a spiral. Okay. And then what you can do is either start from the middle, or I found starting from the end works a little better for me. You roll it up and you roll it up and you roll it up. And you keep on rolling and rolling and rolling. Okay, and this part takes a little while, so roll and kind of push. And then when you get it all rolled up, it's going to look like this. So fan it out a little bit and glue the bottom. And then you have a fun rose. And then again, you can attach the pipe cleaners or whatever you decide to use to it to make a little stem. All right. So those are some fun activities with science involved. So I hope you enjoyed today's springtime activity, Chromatography, and a little bit of origami. Thank you very much. Bye-bye now.